Have you been struggling to find your design aesthetic or design style as a fashion designer? In this video, I'm going to share with you some basic tips that will help you find your design aesthetic or your design style to help you know who to produce clothes for or who you are producing clothes for. Hello everyone, my name is Pamela Azemobo and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in this video, please continue watching. Now the first point is know yourself. Knowing yourself is very important when you are branching out into the fashion design space. Who naturally, what are the kind of clothes you like to wear? Who inspires me? What inspires me outside of fashion? All these questions are questions that you should ask yourself. Is it music? Is it art? Is it culture? All these questions are questions you need to ask yourself when going into the design space. What kind of problems do I want my clothes to solve? How is it modesty? Is it sustainability? All these questions that I've listed below are questions that you should ask yourself when going into the fashion design space. Because if you don't ask yourself these questions, you will just be producing clothes for any and everybody, and you don't want that. So if you're going into the design space, all these questions are questions that you should ask yourself when going into the design space, or if you've been struggling to find your niche when it comes to the fashion design industry. The second point is study designers, fashion designers you admire. So I'm sure before you went into the design space, there've been a couple of designers you've home and abroad that you've liked, and you've liked their design. You like what they stand for. You like what their clothes stands for. Now you have to go through these people's pages to see what kind of aesthetics, what kind of theme, how they come about their design process. I'm sure they have a couple of them on YouTube for those of them that like to share. So even if it's a Nigerian fashion designer, go and look through their page. What do they stand for? What are their aesthetics? What are the things they like? What kind of music they listen to? This can also help also in helping you find your design process, because with knowing or looking at the designers that you are inspire, it can give you a sense of direction of where you want to belong to in the fashion industries. And I have to point this out: don't copy them. When Because you admire somebody does not necessarily mean that you're going to copy them from head to toe. It is very important that as you get inspiration from them, not necessarily copying them their design. Now, some fashion designers share a little bit more of their self in their personal pages. So you have to go and look at these fashion designers and ask yourself what makes them stand out, what makes them different. It is very important as an upcoming fashion designer, or even as a designer in whole. You also have to ask yourself this question: what makes them different? Why do people like buying from them? What are the things that they are selling that makes them stand out? It might be the way their aesthetic looks, it might be the choices of color, it might be silhouette. All these things are things that falls under this point as looking up to people, fashion designers that inspire you, that you want to have a form of their aesthetics. So all these questions are questions you should ask yourself. It's not just, like I said, don't copy them. You don't have to copy them. You can draw inspiration from them. You can go and study them and see what are the things that move them, what are the things that inspire them. If you are lucky to have a one-on-one relationship with these fashion designers, it's very important that you ask certain questions that are around. The third point is experimenting with different aesthetics. The beautiful thing about starting out in the fashion industry, you have room to experiment a lot. So now it might be streetwear, it might be casual wear, it might be bridals, it might be kids clothing, it might be suits. That is the beautiful thing about starting out. You have the room to explore a lot of other options, especially when you are just starting out. So experiment when it comes to different aesthetics. So in terms of different genres, whether it's kids wear, whether it's suit making, whether it's fashion illustration, whether it's bridals, whether it's men's clothing. So you have the room to be able to explore your option in this space, especially when you are necessarily just starting out and you're literally trying to carve out a niche for yourself in the fashion industry. The next point is identifying your signature elements. Now, what this means is you have to find your own aesthetics. Is the point of now knowing, okay, Is it my colors that are standing out? Is it the print of the fabric I'm using? Am I the type that focuses on loose and very fitted, loose and very structured clothing? So this is finding your element in the fashion design space, because with each fashion designer, especially if from the previous point that I mentioned, you'll notice that some of them have different spaces that they function in. We have fashion designers that they are more into the aesthetics of the woman body figure. So now, if that is an aesthetics that you really like to enjoy, you can dwell on that element and build on it. The next point is stay consistent and build on growth. To have been in this space is it's very easy to get like shifted, you know, with different spaces. So let's say for instance now you're into the ready to wear brand and you're producing let's say suits. You have a certain aesthetics. Not that tomorrow you are producing suit and the next day you are going to go and produce two-piece. Two pieces, maybe trouser and top. Now, and that does not necessarily mean you cannot branch out of your space. Don't get me wrong. You can branch out of your space, but make sure that whatever you are doing falls in line with the theme of the aesthetics that you've picked out for yourself when you are already in this industry. It is very important so that your customers and your clients know what you stand for. And when they are trying to go for events or occasions or different things, they have what they are looking forward to. It is very important that you stay and maintain these aesthetics, because if not, you will just be, when you release collection, people are not even, they don't know what to expect. Even outside brands, it is very important that if you notice some outside brands, you kind of already know what they stand for just by some of the clothes that they've produced in the past. So you already know what to expect. So it is very important that you stay consistent, but also open to growth. Like I said, it's not doesn't necessarily mean that you must, oh, because you've went a certain way, you cannot say you cannot go back again. But make sure everything flows in line with your team. Last point for this topic is document your journey. It is very important that you document this process or all this process that you're going about. I think at some point along the way, you would find what truly matters or what truly matters to you in this design process. Document your journey, take pictures, write down journals, take videos, so that this helps you create some sort of understanding who you want your brand to be, because your brand is a person. Don't forget that. So these are the few points I'm going to share. Design aesthetics, when finding your design style as a fashion designer. I hope these tips or these points were helpful. I will catch you guys in my next video.